Let's talk about some Northeast 10 outdoor track and field today. Jordan Davis from Southern Connecticut State joins us. He's the conference champion in the javelin and also just so happens to be one of the best javelin throwers in the world. That is not an exaggeration. Jordan, thanks for making the time.
Of course.
Um, how does that all sound when you think about it?
A little bit surreal. Doesn't sound, it sounds good, but still sinking in a little bit.
Why is it true? How'd you become one of the elite javelin throwers out there right now?
Oh God, there's a lot of reasons why. But I think the main one is just committing to the game. It's my first year not playing football. That did track year round. I trained year round very specifically and put my mind to it, and now we're here.
Let's talk about that decision a little bit. You obviously came to Southern Connecticut as a two-sport athlete.
Mm.
I didn't even look. I just assumed, like I checked the statistics and I just went to rushing first without even looking what position you played. I was like, he seems like a running back.
Oh yeah.
um, Tell me what the decision came from to say I'm going to give up football and go into this javelin thing full time.
Yeah, it was definitely a hard decision, but we were over the summer, we were kind of thinking about it with an Olympic year and my numbers already being I threw 74 last year with really a couple months of training after the football season. We took the risk. I talked to my family and my coaches and other people about the whole situation. And we just thought it might be the best idea to sacrifice football to see where we would go with this whole track thing. And so far it's been working out, and I think we might have made a good decision, even though I love football and football. I'm a football guy at heart, and it was hard to make that decision. I think we made the right one.
What changed? Like, what did your training go from, and what did it become once you committed full time to javelin?
Yeah, so usually I go through the summer training for football. And then after football season, that first month really is a rehab month in getting back up to speed as much as we can. So instead of rehabbing shoulders back to health, and like really your whole body, we were able to just keep going and hammer all the specifics. Technical work all year for the first time, and just becoming more explosive through the whole year.
Why javelin? Like, of all the things you could do in track and field, what was like, that's my thing?
To be honest, I didn't decide it right away. It was my high school coach that kind of made me pick it up. And right away I wasn't too bad at it. And each meet I got better and better, and it just stuck. And through college each year I got a little bit better and better. And I just fell in love with it. I fell in love with the community of it. My team really was a big decision why, and just everything about it I love.
Did you throw other things when you first started track in high school?
No, so I really did track in high school just to kind of get faster and stronger for football. So I ran a little bit and then just threw jav.
What was it about javelin? Like, what? Why? All right, so you're running. What was it that said I'm going to give that one a try too?
So I played baseball my whole life, really. I was a center fielder, shortstop pitcher, and I had a pretty good arm my whole life. I was kind of known for my arm, and my family are all athletes. My older brother was a Division I pitcher. So right away we got rolling with all sports. Baseball was a big one right away. Baseball and football were the two biggest. Um, but it was kind of I had a feel for it right away. My coach knew I played baseball up into high school, and he knew I had a good arm, and he kind of just pushed me towards it. He trained me as much as he could in high school with a short amount of time, and we just got kind of good at it, and it stuck.
What when did you realize I've got something here? Like I'm not just a run of the mill javelin thrower, but I can really be good at this.
I think in 2022 when I won the Division II national championship, it kind of opened a little bit. But I think last year throwing 74, I think 36 or 37, um, it kind of it kind of gave me a new perspective. If I could do this with a couple months of training, um, what can I do with a full year? And we just went for it, and now full year, and we're up 9 meters. So it's going well.
Uh, how crazy is it to think that you're not just competing for an NE10 championship and a national championship, but now you're competing on these stages to, without hyperbole, try to qualify for the Olympics?
Yeah, it's definitely a feeling that has to sink in. It's kind of like winning a championship. It'll sink in later. But we're just trying to act like we've been here before. Not let it just overwhelm all of us. But we're excited. It's fun. It's new. It's cool to do it for our school and the NE10. So it's definitely exciting.
How do you get there? What do you have to do between now and Paris to try to make sure you're on that team?
Oh God, throw farther. But really, it's a point system. There's a lot to it. It's just really throwing well at the big meets I got to do and just stay consistent.
I've seen where your coaches have talked about consistency being the big word, and being able to consistently throw 80 to 85 meters. I know 83 is the big one that really turned
Uh,
heads back in Texas. But how do you get there? How do you consistently throw that distance?
I think it's all about preparation, what you do before the meet through the months really, before you get to those big meets. It's huge, like you said, consistency. You got to prepare. You really got to prepare. You got to hone in. We like to use the term calculated killer. You got to be calculated with everything. It's not just I'm getting really strong. Now I could just throw farther. It's a lot more than that. It's being strong, being mobile, and just being elastic and explosive. You got to kind of tune in everything and be calculated with every step, to be good and consistent. You let one variable lack, and you're gonna see it deter in your throw.
When you went 83.77, that was the D2 record earlier this year, the best in the US and the fourth in the world. What do you have to throw to get to where you want to be this year?
To where I want to be.
Well, I guess, how do you qualify? What do you need to do to make sure that you can make it?
Okay, so the automatic qualifier for the Olympics is 85.5. That doesn't necessarily mean I would definitely make it if I threw above that. If like 5 people threw above that in the US, then it comes down to the point system and the ranking system. But throwing above that 85.5 would help a lot.
How close to that are you? I mean, obviously a couple of meters, but how
Yeah.
do you close that gap?
Um, I think it's just trusting the process. We're kind of aligning this season up well. My coach Dan and Coach Wallen we kind of set a plan to throw farther later. We came out the season throwing hot 83.77, and then we kind of backed off. We went back on a heavy lifting cycle. But you want to peak later. A lot of people peak early, and then when you get to those big meets, you're you don't do so well. So it's really just trusting the plan they set for me, and staying consistent. And I think though those big meets are gonna be exceptional.
Do you have anything that motivates you? Are there quotes or sayings, or like have you ever written anything down like and hang it on a whiteboard and you look at it every day and it reminds you of what you want to do?
Um, I don't know if I know specifics. I listen to a lot of podcasts, a lot of motivational stuff. Like every morning I wake up and I listen to something. Um, But I think the big one, it's kind of a joke with our Jav group. We listen to Many Men by 50 Cent a lot.
Okay.
Many men wish death upon me. I think that's a big one. It's kind of just setting that mindset as when you're one of the top, people are coming for you. And if you get content, then you'll fall, kind of. So I think it's just staying on that grind, staying consistent, and just keep going.
I want to go back in your past a little bit as well before I let you go, because I know from reading articles about you, you had a car accident in
Uh,
2018, right?
yep.
That you thought could have taken away your entire athletic career.
Oh yeah.
Um, how does that motivate you? And how did that change the trajectory of what your athletic career became?
That kind of just switched my mindset. I've always been a hard worker, but after that, I broke my femur and the condyles under my knee, and had a really big reconstructive surgery. So after that, it's kind of like you gotta amp it up even more. You gotta be more focused. You gotta be more determined and passionate. And going through that and being able to come out of that, just gave me a new perspective and drive on life in a whole. It really shows you that if you really want something and you put your mind to it, you can go get it. It's just how bad do you want it? And I think in that moment, with my community behind me and my family behind me, I wanted it more than anyone. And now it's leading into my javelin and track world. And I'm hopefully pushing on to my team. I love the Owls, but really trying to get everyone on this boat of, if you really want it, we could get it. And I think we have a special team and a special group around, and I think the NE10 is very special. So I think if we all want it bad enough, we'll go get it.
Jordan, congratulations in what you've accomplished so far. I know you've got a busy June, so best of luck in all of that. And hopefully, when it comes time at the end of July and early August, we are watching you on our TV screens from Paris.
Thank you.